Okay, look at this TikTok video.
13. Critics and audiences are cheering for Dial of Destiny.
This is it.
Discover for yourself why it's being hailed as the perfect ending for the adventures of Indiana Jones.
Are you back, Indy?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Rated PG-13. Critics...
Now, I saw the Dial of Destiny. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Better than Ancient Aliens, but... look at the comments. Look at these comments on this Indiana Jones video. Watch Sound of Freedom instead. Still losing to Sound of Freedom. Go see Sound of Freedom instead. Watch the Sound of Freedom instead. Sound of Freedom is doing better. Sound of Freedom, please. Sound of Freedom is doing so much better. Sound of Freedom is doing far better. Sounds of Freedom. See Sound of Freedom first. I'm going to watch Sound of Freedom just because... Sound of Freedom is better. Sound of Freedom ratio. Love these comments and watch Sound of Freedom instead. I'm going to go watch Sound of Freedom. Are they, though? I read some reviews and they were cheering. Sound of Silence. Sound of Silence doing better. And Sound of Freedom. The Dial of the Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom was people cheering. No one is cheering for this movie. Go see Sound of Freedom. It used to say #1 movie in America, but they had to change it. They're cheering louder for Sound of Freedom. People saying go watch Sound of Freedom instead are brained. Go watch Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom is better. They just keep going. Sound of Freedom and Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Sound of Freedom is mid. This movie was awesome. Go see Sound of Freedom. And look at this. Here's this theater. Notice how they put Sound of Freedom on top. It actually says featured movie. Sound of Freedom is the featured movie. And then underneath that, like way down here, Mission Impossible, which is actually the #1 movie in IMAX. And then Indiana Jones is like, it's like way down here. Like the very movie, like right on top. Featured movie, Sound of Freedom. And it doesn't matter what theater you go to. Featured movie, Sound of Freedom. Sunnyland. Featured movie, Sound of Freedom. Featured movie. Oh, where is it? Oh, they don't have it at this one. Featured movie, Sound of Freedom. Everyone should definitely watch Sound of Freedom instead. Nobody cares, but Sound of Freedom is beating it hands down. Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom, let the world know. Sound of Freedom. And let's see if there's any more. Sound of Freedom is much better. Everyone needs... So, even on these videos of Indiana Jones, people are obsessing over the Sound of Freedom movie. Pretty funny.